Badger! Badger! Badger!
Morning all! Ai, kill myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, go for our wild, wild ride with the Honey Badgers. But beware, the sweetest kittens have the sharpest claws. For your own safety, strap yourself in and hold onto something as we enter the Pussycat Cast. Taboo topics.
Wait a second. Men are human too.
Marginalized men. Uncomfortable truths.
Suck!
The Pussycats aren't afraid of heavy lifting.
They call themselves the men's rights activists, a movement that claims to be for justice and equal treatment of men and women in the criminal and family courts, as well as protesting against the irrationality of modern-day feminism. In recent years, they've started to gain the attention of the mainstream media, claiming that society at large hasn't paid enough attention to men's issues. Citing alarming data like men being 4 times more likely to commit suicide, 25% less likely to graduate college due to clear bias in the education system, and just as likely of being victims of domestic violence at the hands of their partners. Tonight in the studio, we're joined by the Badger, a public representative of the so-called men's rights movement who would help us clarify some myths and misunderstandings surrounding this movement. As well as this, show regular Dr. Veina, who is a specialist in gender issues with a PhD in gender studies from the University of Gender-Rolliford. So, Badger, we start with you. Why do you hate women?
Well, what?
I can sympathize with the idea of men being oppressed because of their race, but don't you think you already took things a little too far? People are closing their Twitter accounts!
I don't know what that had to do.
I think the adjacent problem with the dominant-subjuance relationship lies in the dichotomy of the perpendicular over-acceptance of the privileged estimates that impose the subject-causal paradigm with the spectrum of sex-related dimorphism that creates systems of triangulation and responsiveness of action and lack of a motivation and gender neutralities and our impact to the way we react to these issues. We claim we need to compensate the abundant redefinition of male superculture created by systemic political redistribution of partnership and the postmodern models of oppression and violence-centric family monogamous that keeps women in a box. It is the current year, after all.
Makes perfect sense, Doctor. Badger, why do you believe that women should stay in the kitchen and serve their natural purpose as baby-producing machines?
What? This is absurd.
Are you saying that women are absurd? Don't you see how this is a problem? Women can't women because of such attitudes.
No, I'm saying this is absurd because
This is exactly what the patriarchal hetero systems of coercion and subjugation and demonstration of equality have imposed in the climate change reformational intersex system that keeps dragging boys and men through the toxication of masculination. These theories have reinstated ultra-patriarchal ecosystems of identity and empatho-depressive patterns of subjugation and intersexation of domination and demonstration of misogynational nominators. After all, we live in a society that just hates us. Hates us.
Jesus. I can't even.
And of course you can't even. Hopefully one day you and your group will come to terms that we sail together in this beautiful ship called equality that needs to be protected from the horrors of hypersexualization. Coming up next, the secret of Nicki Minaj booty. Watermelon milk. Discover what the planets told our resident astrologer right after the pause.
Quick, get out of the cage!
How dare you, madam?
How dare I what?
Why, how dare you say that I am caged?
Cage? Eh?
Imprisoned, madam, imprisoned, aye, impounded, incarcerated, immured. This is slanderous. This is all libelous, something like that. I never remember.
Surely that isn't the priority here.
I am a proud and noble eagle, my good lady. It is an offence against my stature to accuse me of a fate as disreputable as capture, let alone in such abominable custody as a bird cage.
But you wouldn't be caged if you left the cage.
I'll hear no more of this. Begone, Harridan. Begone from this place, lest I thrash at thee. Begone! Well, you call that begone? Get begonning, you frivolous slip of a munchkin. I should show you the back of my hand. In my day, we fed the likes of you to the chickens. You know that? Why, you wouldn't have lasted the first leg on a slow Tuesday. And you wouldn't have been worth the threepence. You will never...
Our top stories again. Katy Perry cancels another tour date. Justin Bieber unveils his worst hairstyle ever, and the Earth was destroyed by a meteor.
That's right, Tom. Destroyed. You might think the Cubs were obliterated in the last quarter, but I'm talking about complete terrestrial disintegration, Tom.
It is all that in the bag of Armageddon, Jim. There is nothing left.
Planet Earth just blew, and there's nothing we can do.
That's funny, Jim. And of course, the question on everybody's mind is how were women more affected by this?
Well, Tom, that is an offensive question. The answer is they were. This incident strikes the greatest blow to the progress of women's equality since abiogenesis.
Was he the quarterback? Nigerian guy?
You are the living end, Tom. The living end.
Hey, I think some men might have died as well.
Gather round, little ones. I have another story to tell. Or maybe I should say, a story to continue. Now you all recall those 3 dangerous women I was telling you about last time. That foul-mouthed, hard-drinking, sin-loving girl writes what, who was wanted by the law for truthing too much and being uncharitable to the ladies. Bad News Hannah, who'd been a burr under the saddle of any newspaper man who'd played fast and loose with the facts until they'd finally sicked the marshals after her. And that poor moon-addled lunatic Allison, who claimed to be a badger of all things, from Badger Town, of all places, and who preached a set of laws that no sane man or woman could even wrap their heads around. Now, whatever forces brought us to this moment, meet those three women dead at a crossroads on a night with no wind and no moon, a night when even the crickets weren't talking. The three of them stopped in their tracks and eyed each other. The only sound was the restless shifting hooves of Hannah's ill-tempered mule. Something seemed to pass between the three women in that moment. As one, they looked toward us, to where the faint lights of our peaceful, unsuspecting little town kissed the tips of the grass on that very hilltop. Hannah smiled. Allison's face went perfectly still. And the girl writes what? She laughed out loud, took a swig of her moonshine, and said, "Y'all got business with that town?" Hannah offered her a curt nod. Allison, always polite, inclined her head, fingers brushing the iron at her side. Karen bit the end of her cheroot and grinned. Well, what are we waiting for? And what happened next? What would become of this here sleepy, quiet little town, which the good Lord named YouTube? Oh, we shall see, my darlings. We shall see.
Blah, 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 like all society that hates women. It'll did far above but just hates us. Many marginalized people can tell you when you're dinner flitter and enormous fang. Devil when who's the Lennon and don't even care. April Jeff Mew must spoil Gordon and Marston and Yun sharing triggering details. Street harassers and other people who make us uncomfortable guilt us, give filters on them tongue kiddly flies. Woo! Boo! Bang diddly joo!
A little girl sing fuck, fuck, fuck.
Thanks for accompanying us to a new and exciting edition of BBS Debate Nights. Tonight we'll be discussing free speech in media and the necessity of a diversity of opinions in the free world and the ever-changing market of ideas. With me in the studio are some of the most important voices regarding this sensitive and often quite controversial topic. So, it's an honor to have with us Professor Dixon Yannis, PhD in non-trinomial interrelational relations from Duke Safe Space, North Carolina, as well as famous empowered feminist blogger Duzma Kunstmel, who has published over 9,000 articles in her trademarked Nobel Prize-winning, safe and soon-to-be scholarly recognized snap speech. Welcome to the show. In BBS, we also value the importance of promoting conversation, so providing the counterpoint to our humanist savants, we have brought along two notable individuals. The first is Cassie J., author of the hate speech manifesto, The Red Pill. And the other is the same misogynerd of the previous show. Welcome to the show, Badger. So, Professor Dix, can you explain to our public what is real free speech?
No, you ignorance. Free speech is power plus privilege. Clearly being able to speeching is the sign of the new heteronormative repression that has caused so many people of the sex spectrum to back away from public conversation. Don't you see that you as a white kin are privileged for knowing such obscure speechings that the rainbow kin don't know? These are the dynamics of power privilege that so many of us have been denouncing for the last 87 billion years. Because you know that dinosaurs were diverse and open-minded Mexican otherkins who supported gay rights to abortion and pansexual squirrel marriage.
Interesting perspective, Professor. Cassie, why do you think it's so important that the red pill gets screened?
No one has been more more institutionally repressed than the whole.
Oh, don't mind that. We're just making sure that the show is safe for our Australian public and public S.
Where all bodies.
We can't hear you over the sound of those beeps, Cassie. Badger, what is your perspective on censorship in media, and why do you think that women are second-class humans and that Islamic terrorism is the best thing to happen to humanity since the death of Jesus? Interesting point, Badger, but I find it appalling that you would say women's suffrage should be punishable by genital mutilation. Such terrible views, Badger. Duzma, explain to the audience the importance of not wanting to gas all women.
White men are considered the devil in many parts of the world, and I should know. I'm a white man. But I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm just going to flagellate myself until I'm redder than the Tootsie. And then I'll strap all
So profound and insightful. Wise words to keep in mind for a better future. We have run out of time. Join us next week for another exciting debate, where we will be discussing Trump's involvement in the Nanking Massacre. Mastermind or obscure conspirator? Find out next week. Good night, and good luck.
I'm pretty sure I can stop.
I just want to apologize to Mom and Dad for not calling you misogynist shit large enough. I'm sorry that you didn't check your white cis privilege. Because if you've known how much you hated strong, independent, transracial women like me, you would have let me build this place. I'm sorry. But now you'll have to carry the blame of something that you obviously caused. But don't be too harsh on yourself. I forgive you. I forgive me for forgiving you. You damn siglorn. I'm safe now, but who knows for how long. My harassers, I can hear them coming. God, I say coming! Such an awful, heteronormative word of phallocratic, male-centric world. They're affecting my space now. I'm so sorry that the world will lose such a beautiful being. I'm so sorry for the future generations who will not know how to donate to my Patreon. Links in the description. Oh God! Oh God!
Hey guys, do you notice that we're running towards a cliff? All of us. Everyone on this road is headed on a collective beeline towards the sheer face and 500-foot decline of a rock shelf. Well, I think someone should make an executive decision.
You just hate roads.
Well, I don't hate roads. I'm just saying it's stupid to run on a road that's going over a cliff.
Hey, everybody, look at this guy. He hates roads.
Roads soldier! Look, I don't hate roads. I love roads. See, I'm running faster than all of y'all on this dang road. I'm gonna run off the end of it even faster. Then when I get to the bottom before all of y'all, you'll see how much I love roads.
See? You kept your damn road salt in his mouth shut, this wouldn't happen.
Hey, here's your refill, lady. Eat nothing but caffeine, sugar all day. Now, what do you got, purple here?
Women control just as much spending as men. You only had to earn 73 cents to spend that dollar.
Hey!
Oh God, no! My face! I can taste my face!
We fallen down a pit.
Why aren't you moving forward?
We can't. We fell down a pit.
You need to be open and honest about your situation.
We honestly fell down a pit.
You need to express the way you feel about that.
We feel like we need to get out of this pit.
Have you tried working together? Instead of fighting each other like you men always do, maybe you can learn gymnastics and form a human pyramid.
I mean, we can try. Quite a lot of us are dead and dying, though. Could you guys maybe get...
Maybe you could make a rope.
Maybe we could make a rope.
Yes. Instead of destroying the earth like you men always do, maybe you could get into arts and craft. There are plenty of minerals and tree roots down there. Maybe you could fashion a makeshift rope and use it to climb out.
We'd have to tie the other end to something. Just suppose when we fashion this rope, we could throw it up to you and you could catch it and maybe tie it to a tree.
Oh my God, you're always blaming women for your problems. This is what's wrong with men. Don't you realise that women have been in a pit since the dawn of time? Now you stay in that pit, crammed together with other men in a small space with no food and no sleep, and don't you dare start fighting with each other. And hurry up and get out of there. You need to help us dig another rapist trap.
I knew it! I have it worse because you are going to die. You have it worse because you need to find another partner to sustain you. No, I have it worse because I have to take care of the puppies. No, you have it worse because the puppies will grow to oppress you. No, I have it worse because I have to see you die. No, you have it worse because I die.
What the... Are you okay? You have a bear trap stuck in your tail.
What? You're such a system apologist. Don't you have any shame?
But he could die.
Yes, and I am and always have been the primary victim of that. Such deplorabilificated villainy. You see, I told you, we do live in a vixen-blaming culture.
Now settle down, young'uns, and shake the wax out of your ears. I got a story to tell. Now you might recall those 3 dangerous women I was telling y'all about last time. That ornery quill pusher, Bad News Hannah, who'd made a name for herself, confusticating and discombobulating those no-good lying scoundrels who print what passes for news round here. The girl writes what, that cheroot-smoking, moonshine-guzzling renegade who had a price on her head for aggravating, flustering, and otherwise perturbing the ladies. And Allison, the outlaw who fancied herself a sheriff or some such, who was so out of her mind she thought she was a badger, and who might as well have been one for all the sense she made. It was down at the crossroads over that hill just yonder that their 3 paths first met, and they knew in the marrow of their bones that they all had business in this here town. You see, they'd been tracking, each unbeknownst to the other, a gang went by the name of the Foyer Gals. A meaner, more deadly nest of rattlesnakes you will never come across. Yet they masked their fell thoughts and deeds behind the veil of the righteous and the false siren song of the just. Who, after all, could possibly argue in favor of the evils of liquor, or the brutish habits of the undomesticated, soused-up men who imbibe, or the continued sufferings of the fairer sex proceeding and precipitating therefrom? But oh my darlings, our 3 heroines, they knew those Foyer gals, for all their high-minded jawing and pontificating, was up to no good. And they intended to root out that evil and shine the light of truth on it before it might find a foothold in our peaceful, sleepy little town. And what happened next? Oh, we shall see.
Well, Badger, now that the world is in ruin, what do you have to say for yourself?
Wait, what? You pretended Trump was a ghoulish monster, and when he won, everyone you convinced went on the warpath.
If you hadn't supported him...
I didn't.
Excuse his vile depravity.
Telling everyone he's Satan is the reason why they're going nuts. What vile depravity?
Exactly. And voted for him.
Allahu Akbar! I voted Libertarian.
You love the meteor! Why do you love the meteor more than you love me? Oh, God.